Why am I laughing? Because these two whores think they can come onto our flight because they're too broke to afford a new airplane. You know what? Contrary to popular belief, I would actually accept them onto the plane and then do this.
Get off my plane! Get off my plane!
Kobe Mainu. I respect him. Phenomenal player. Amazing, amazing young talent. All right. That other lesbian, Garnacho, he is a traitor. How are you from Argentina and you support Christian?
Disgusting!
I'm not even going to finish that sentence. Just blasphemy. But whatever. 1-0 to Manchester City. 3 points. That means Arsenal, Liverpool have to win at the Emirates to stay on top. Obviously, the first thing I'm going to talk about is Southampton. It was scary in the last couple of minutes, especially with their free kicks and their corners and that 10'7" that was playing a striker, Onuachu. He's like 6'6" or 6'7", but that's literally the average height of the NBA. Just to let you know, he's short in the NBA. That's just crazy. But regardless, it's 22 shots for Manchester City, 5 for Southampton, 58% possession for Manchester City after 90 minutes. That is gonna make Pep Guardiola angry.
More than you believe. More than you believe.
That means 42% for Southampton. They did have a lot of passes. We had 613 passes. They had 461. Their passing accuracy was 90%, ours 92%. Especially in that first half, Southampton was keeping the ball so well. It got me so nervous in the opening 5 minutes. Usually, we like to start out strong at the Etihad, but damn, Southampton, credit to Southampton. Hopefully y'all stay up. Southampton's just a team that nobody should really hate, in my opinion. But damn, that 5 minutes, though. That 5 minutes took my breath away. That was incredible by Southampton. All right, Russell should be incredibly proud. Let's get into some of the players. First of all, our defense. Ederson did not have a lot to do besides a couple of shots from Archer and Armstrong when he came on. He really didn't have to do a lot. See, I'm just going to really skip over him because honestly, with their defense, our two best defenders today were both Croatian. I think Rico Lewis, I'll start with Rico Lewis. I thought he did fine today. If I were to give a numerical order, it would be like a 6.5 out of 10. He didn't do amazing, but he didn't do poorly by any stretch of the imagination. Incredible. He's on my FBL team, so that's clean sheet bonus. This is the first clean sheet I think we've kept in the Premier League in like 7 years. I don't even remember the last time we kept a clean sheet. So thank you, Rico Lewis. But still, he did his job, and I'm not gonna get on him I'm not gonna get on a player for doing his job. So Rico Lewis, fantastic. Josko Gvardiol, Jesus Christ, he's such a brilliant player. Such a brilliant player. I don't know who made that pass in the second half, and he lifted his boot up high over his head to intercept that pass. He's very good at intercepting the ball. You could tell when a Gvardiol interception is about to come into play, judging by the speed of the pass from the opposition onto that left-hand side, especially in that first half. He did have a couple of them where it just got misplaced with this first touch, and they were able to, capitalize on a counter. But still, Josko Gvardiol was absolutely beautiful today. Great crosses with his left foot. Great passing. There was this one play that he did in the first half where he looked like he was about to shoot or cross the ball, but he did a sort of, he was looking there and he passed it. His buddy Mateo Kovacic with a beautiful, beautiful shadow pass with his right foot. Those are the kinds of passes that oppositions cannot predict, and we need more of. Kevin De Bruyne likes to do them. Josko Gvardiol is filling in that role right now on that left-hand side. Brilliant performance by Josko Gvardiol. Now, I have to say, Mateo Kovacic was absolutely mint this game. He was the most handsome man in football. He is just absolutely incredible. Mateo Kovacic filling in that Rodri position so well. This might sound blasphemous, but again, it's all in good intentions. I was kind of happy that he was playing instead of İlkay Gündoğan. I was glad that İlkay Gündoğan didn't play today because there were other players who were more deserving. And that midfield three of Bernardo, Foden, and Kovacic, I thought worked decently well, especially in that first half. But Kovacic today, defensively sound, beautiful on the touch. I saw him lose the ball like once or twice, but he immediately got back And Manchester City, we just pressured the hell out of them. We got the ball back immediately, and this guy can dribble with his left, right foot. It does not matter. He can dribble with his nose. He's that good. Kovacic's ball control is absolutely incredible. Only player with better ball control in that midfield, Bernardo Silva. Speaking of the Portuguese Messi, good performance today by Bernardo Silva. Great crosses with his left foot in that first half. I mean, some of them were a little bit too long, but regardless, to stretch your legs, your left foot like that on the spin with the defender coming on you, with the byline right next to you, with the end line next to you, is really, really tough. The fact that he got some of those crosses off, I was really happy with that. Bernardo Silva, that turn that he did on those two Southampton players was just exquisite. He did the same thing against Sparta Praha a couple days ago, and he's doing it again in that midfield. Bernardo Silva was spreading the ball out really well onto the left-hand side. He was combining really well with MATHEUS NUNES, especially in that first half, keeping possession, making Southampton players uncomfortable without the ball. He was getting into some dangerous positions, so I was really impressed with Bernardo Silva today. Phil Foden, I thought he was alright. He still hasn't kicked on this season in the Premier League. In the Champions League, he definitely has, but in the Premier League, he still hasn't kicked on. I had to wait. It was 90 minutes. They added 6 minutes. It was 95:55 on the clock. 5 seconds before the minimum time was about to be completed. I have to wait almost 96 minutes for him to finally thread a ball to Erling Haaland on that play. We could have won the game by 2-0 if it not been for a good save from Aaron Ramsdale. But Phil Foden does not like to pass as much as we want him to, and it's a little bit frustrating because we know how good he is on that turn. We know how good he is on a counterattack. We know how good he is with that left foot, receiving that ball from the right-hand side, whether it's John Stones, Akanji, Savinho, Mahrez, Bernardo, whoever it was on the right-hand side in the last several years. He's really good at opening up his body and shooting it. But you want to play attacking mid, you want to take on the role of Kevin De Bruyne, you have to pass the ball to Erling, but out Haaland. There were at least 5 passes that I saw on television. Yes, it's much harder to do it against professionals in play, so I'm not getting on him too much for that. But there were at least 5 passes that I saw he could have made to Erling Haaland. He just didn't. It was a little bit frustrating, but Foden did his job. I'm seeing him check in for the ball. Ball's on the right-hand side. He checks in. He combines with MATHEUS NUNES. Ball gets switched over to Savinho. He goes and he runs over there. He wants the ball. Phil Foden wants the ball. You can see him, his arms in the air every time he doesn't get the ball. He was combining well in those tight spaces in the midfield. So for that, I'm going to say good performance by Phil Foden. Savinho. Good performance today by Savinho. I was really happy with Savinho today. He was getting past, who was that right back? Left back, Manning and Fernandes on that left-hand side for Southampton. He was getting by them like they weren't even there. He made them look still with his sprints and his bursts of acceleration. Savinho just needs to work on his final touch more when he's cutting inside. Sometimes it's a little bit too risky. Sometimes his touch is a little bit too much and he loses the ball, and then he's forced to lunge in and toke the ball to John Stones or Akanji or whoever our defenders are in the midfield. But he could be a little bit more composed and relaxed on the ball and get a better shot off. Then again, Savinho, I was really impressed by his crossing with his weak foot today. Savinho, I'm going to say, honestly, great performance today by Savinho. MATHEUS NUNES, oh my word, he's playing like R9, he's playing like Mbappe, he's playing like Marco van Basten in the last couple of games. MATHEUS NUNES, what a player, what a player. Here's the thing, I thought it was a completely lackluster second half, but I honestly don't care. You got the winning assist, my friend, with your weak foot. You were combining really well in that first half. Honestly, great performance by MATHEUS NUNES. Yes, that second half was poor, but again, you're going to bounce back. You're going to bounce back. I really don't care. There were a couple of moments where he lacked a little bit of concentration. Ball went out of play. I saw some of the City crowd, with their hands on their heads, like, oh, come on. Frustration was there. Obviously, I understand that, but that first half, MATHEUS NUNES, great performance by MATHEUS NUNES today. Beautiful cross with his left foot. If you saw it in slow motion, it was absolutely brilliant. Erling Braut Haaland today. I felt a little bit bad for him because he was getting into some really good positions. No one was really looking for him. If De Bruyne was there, I'm not even kidding, Erling Haaland could have had a hat-trick today, or maybe even at least a brace today. Some of the runs that he was making, I'm looking at that as a former striker and thinking, what in the world are my midfielders doing? What is the point of me making these runs? What am I doing? Yes, we keep the ball, but sometimes you got to take risks if you want to win in football. You got to take risks sometimes. And not all the time. I'm thinking like 10% of the time. Just take risks. Pass the ball to Erling Braut Haaland. He's the best striker in world football right now. We're trying to lock him down to a contract, make him happy, give him the ball. But still, the strength on that goal was absolutely... First of all, the position was kind of sus. But regardless, that goal, that strength to get past, one of our own, but was that Bednarek who was all over him? I'm not sure. It was either Bednarek or Stevens. I'm not 100% sure. But again, the strength to get to the ball and to score a goal like that. Ramsdale, it's hard for a goalkeeper to measure what the hell a striker's going to do. Again, it was exquisite by MATHEUS NUNES. Good strength by Erling Haaland, and we won the game. 3 points. He is my captain on FBL. I was about to triple captain him, but I had a feeling that we weren't going to win the game by a big margin today. And yeah, I was right. Looking at some of the games today, Brighton 2-2 with Wolves. Ooh, that's exquisite. Brentford 4-3 against Ipswich Town. I do have Mbeumo, probably mispronouncing that, on my fantasy team, and he scored 2 goals, 96th minute dagger to end. 1-1 from Aston Villa to Bournemouth. That's a little bit disappointing from Villa, but still... The big game tomorrow is Arsenal versus Liverpool. I cannot wait for that. I am 100% watching that game. I might make a video on it depending on what happens, but still. Obviously, I'm hoping... Honestly, no matter what happens in that game, I'm going to feel good. Because if Arsenal wins, that means Liverpool won't be top and we're top. If Liverpool wins, that means Arsenal are going to be 6 points behind Manchester City. If it's a tie, both teams drop 2 points, and it's fine. I honestly just want to see an incredible game. I don't want to see a 0-0, 1-1. Arteta bringing 4 center halves and two or three CDMs. Partey, Rice, and Marino with 4 center backs behind them. That's just going to be absolutely horrid. I don't think Saliba's not playing in this match. So that's going to be interesting. I do have Luis Diaz on my fantasy team, so you never know. And Kanate on my fantasy team, so you never know. And Gvardiol. I did have Saliba, but he transferred him out. But still, that is going to be a cracking game. All in all, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to take these wins for granted. This is the mentality of champions. I'm sure I'm seeing a lot of City fans a little bit disappointed with our lackluster potency in terms of our attacking play and our attacking prowess in front of goal on Twitter. But honestly, it's a win, 3 points. Let's move on. We have a lot of injuries. The fact that we won this game, I'm really, really proud of my boys today. So let me know who you thought was man of the match. Not really a good amount of players to choose from. Honestly, I'm just going to give it to Matheus Nunes. I should have given it to him. I read your comments from my previous video. I should have given it to him for that Sparta Praha game. But still, I didn't. Unfortunately, I gave it to Erling Haaland. But you know what? Today, I'm going to give it to Matheus Nunes today for that first half performance. Absolutely brilliant. There are not a lot of players to choose from because I thought everybody did pretty well. There wasn't really a standout player that was so much above the rest. Kovacic and Gvardiol defensively brilliant today. Erling Haaland with a great finish. Bernardo Silva dictating play. Savinho with the silky moves on that right hand side. Drop your man of the match down below, and of course, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. And of course, if you did like the video, please hit that like button. Please consider subscribing if you are new. I will see you all next time.